Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. Today I'd like to share with you working on a couple of fenders for a client. We don't have the car here yet, but he wants to do it in bits and pieces. So we've got two front fenders off quite a rare car. It's a 1931 Ford Victoria. So there was a lot of body filler and previous patches done to both fenders. So what we're looking at is the front right fender or the passenger front fender of the 31 Victoria. So when it came to us, it had layers of paint, lots of kind of shabby repairs over the years. So what we've done is, this is the passenger side fender, which is in better condition than the driver's one is. So it's a common area below where the headlight pot bracing is, where they rot out, and there was some kind of questionable patches that were done. So what we've done is we've completely cut that section out. We have the proper size or thickness of steel, and then we made a pattern piece. We shaped it because it's got quite a curve to it, and then we welded it and ground it down. Now another common area on the old Ford fenders is the back of the fender where it attaches to the running board and typically where it bolts to the car. So obviously we have the passenger fender upside down right now, but it took a couple of patches to do this. So it's a little bit trickier. So what we did is we made this the thicker piece here that goes into the fender, so it goes to the whole piece. So we cut that out and then we welded a new piece in, and then we made a new end for it because it has a little bit of an angle to it. And then you can see, if I just set this back down again, you can see where we've welded it all the way across and then ground it all smooth. And then we have the appropriate holes because we use the pattern from the original fender, that's going attached to the running board. So we made a template for it, so now it's the correct thickness. So this steel is quite a bit thicker than traditional metal of today. So now that we have that all set in and ground smooth, then we continue to do a little bit of the smoothing on the outside. So there's a couple of things that are quite unique to the older fenders, and you can see, I think the camera can pick it up. The factory has a seam, and it's not noticeable in the front, and then it starts just under the headlight and then works its way down. And as the fender works its way down, the groove gets deeper and the taper becomes wider, and then it tapers off to nothing down on the end where it meets the running board. So it's a neat stylistic thing, and it's tricky for us when we go to repair it because we have to make sure that we have the right angle. So on the bottom side of this patch, it doesn't look like much, but you can see how much of a slope this has. So you can't take just a flat piece of steel and expect that to fit in there. So we put it on our English wheel and worked it back and forth to get it in the appropriate angle before we're able to weld it in. So now our next stage, you can see where we have it all bare metal because we stripped it all down. We've made some repairs to this side curve. So this is the front of the fender on the passenger side, and there was a couple of holes that we filled in and ground smooth, and there was some body damage here. So we hammer and dollied it out smooth, and we have a little bit of body smoother for the little imperfections. Same thing here in this groove. We had a tear or a split where the bracket fastens on the back side, and once again we've repaired that, welded it closed. And then same thing in this area here, but you'll notice the line, this groove or taper that comes all the way down the outside edge of the fender, you can see we've maintained that edge all the way across. So now that we have the metal fairly close with the smoother, our next step now is we're going to treat this fender. We'll wipe it down with a special cleaner, and then we're going to prepare it for a 2-part black epoxy. So our next step is we'll get this ready. We're going to apply 2-part black epoxy to both the outside and the inside of the fender. After it cures, then we'll apply a gray high build primer to the outside. We'll give it 2 or 3 coats, and then we'll just start to block sand it because we want to get it to the stage where it's probably 180 grit with the metal protected, and then the client will take the fender back and have it at his house, and the car is going to come later on. So kind of a rare fender. They don't make them like this anymore. So a lot of work with the metal fabrication, the shaping, using hammer and dolly, the old traditional style of metal and shaping work, and then using the English wheel to get the formation. So this is going to turn out quite nice. So just a quick update. So this is a 1931 Fender for a Ford Victoria. I thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.